Hello, this is Nancy. I'm the Kentucky Garden Gal, and we are going to continue our series for prepping or being prepared. And what we're going to talk about today is finances. And money is something that impacts everybody. And if we get our financial house in order, it can impact us in a positive way. So this video is going to be focused on very general topics, things that you should do, how you get started to get your financial house in order. So the very first thing that you've done is you've made a commitment. You're watching this video, you're ready to get started, you're the good, the bad, the ugly, you're ready to get this done. So commitment is number one. Number two, you want to order a credit report. You want to see, number one, what your credit score is. Number two, what's on your report. It's something that when I was growing up, it was somewhat of a mystery that only the banks knew. But today, you can get your credit report instantly. There is an annual freecreditreport.com that you can go to, and they will give you one free credit report. And a lot of your credit cards will also tell you what your FICO score is. So you've made the commitment, you're going to order your credit report. The third thing is to gather financial paperwork. This would be things like your credit card statements, your utility bills, your mortgage, whatever you pay. You want to gather all of that, and you want to have that in front of you. The fourth thing you're going to do is you're going to organize all of your financial documents. You're going to bring in your bank statements, your insurance policies, whatever you have that your money goes out on, you want to have that organized, and you want to look that over every single month to make sure that everything is correct. Number 5, you want to analyze your insurance coverage. Number one thing that we would think of would be our homeowners. You want to look at your policy and make sure you have adequate coverage in case of an emergency, a fire, whatever. If you're a renter, renter's insurance is very inexpensive. It will cover the contents, not the dwelling. So if you are a renter, I encourage you, get renter's insurance. You want to look at your life insurance. If you have a life insurance policy through your employer, remember that policy will only be good while you're employed. So you want to make sure that you have adequate coverage that, Lord forbid, if something were to happen, your family would be taken care of. And in that respect, number 6 is to make a will, especially if you have children. You don't want to die intestate. That means without a will. Every state's requirements and laws are different, so please check your state and see what the requirements are. Number 7, you want to create a budget and you want to stick to it. And I do have another video plan where I will go into how to create a budget, so look for that one. And I do want to say, we all fall off the wagon. We all make purchases we shouldn't have. But the important thing is you get back on. If you've made a financial mistake, you learn from it. I call it paying the dumb tax. I had to pay the dumb tax on that, but I learned a lesson. Number 8, you want to try to reduce your debt. And when I'm doing these videos, I'm going to often talk about things that Dave Ramsey uses. And I have been using the principles of Dave Ramsey, which is the Financial Peace University, for at least 25 years. When I took the Dave Ramsey course, Dave Ramsey himself taught it. That's how long ago it was. But I promise you, it's tried and true, and it works. And I do have his book. This is one of his books, so I'll put the link to that. If you've never heard of Dave Ramsey, just Google him. There's plenty of information available regarding Dave Ramsey. So what Dave says when it comes to reducing your debt is you take the snowball approach. So you're going to write down all of your debt from the smallest to the largest. So you're making the payments. You're going to pay off the small debt. You're going to take what you were paying on that and put it on the second smallest debt. And you keep doing that. You keep putting the money allocated until you get down to the biggest snowball and you get that debt paid off. Remember, when it comes to credit cards, you want to pay double the minimum payment plus the interest. If you're just paying the minimum payment, it's so hard. It's so hard to get rid of that. So remember, pay double the minimum payment plus your interest. Number 9, you want to set up an emergency fund. This is not a vacation fund. This is an emergency fund, rainy day fund, whatever you want to call it. But I can guarantee you, things are going to break, things are going to tear up, accidents are going to happen. And when you are broke and you don't know how you're going to pay for that accident or emergency, it just compounds it. So even if you have to start with $5, you start putting $5 a week away and you're not broke. That changes you from being broke to not being so broke. And remember, in your emergency fund, you want to have at least 2 to 3 months of expenses. You've done your budget, you figured out what it takes for you to live on a month, so you want to have 2 to 3 months of that in an emergency fund. And number 10, which is the final point, we want to gather our deeds to property, our wills, our 401ks. You want to keep a copy of your driver's license in a safe place or give it to a trusted person. So I hope these 10 tips have helped. And if you've appreciate and have been encouraged by what you've heard, I hope that you will consider subscribing and hit the bell for notifications. I do have more videos coming. Thanks.